Namaskaram, Bhagavad Gita, second chapter, 46th sloka. So in this sloka, Lord Krishna explains about how to perform karma. Earlier he taught Atmanyanam, Swadharma, intellect. Now it is on karma. So in 46 sloka, the sloka explains that a person who has realized God, who is at the stage of Brahmanandam, for him Vedas are not required. That is, he has crossed that, he has reached that Brahman, he has reached that realization of Brahman. So for him the Vedas do not help him. That means he is not necessary to learn. But people like us, we have to go up gradually to realize Brahma. So we need to understand all the procedures and we to understand all the guidelines given in Veda. So it is very necessary for us to learn all this, what all given in Vedas. So it is compared with, for one who has realized God, for him the water from lake, water from river, water from ocean, he has got so many water bodies around him, and the smallest one is a well. So water from all this gives the same use to him, as far as the one who has realized Brahman is concerned. So whether it is a river or whether it is a large sea or it is a small well, doesn't matter. So like this, there is no need for him to know what is Anandam. So to understand Anandam, we learn Vedas, and to go up and reach the Brahmananda stage, we are learning Vedas. So this is what given in this sloka. So Vedas give us knowledge about ritual practices, prayers, ceremonies and everything. The underlying objective, underlying teaching or the value we get is to unite soul with God. That is what that's the purpose. We learn Vedas. So Vedas give both the material elements and the spiritual. So and gradually, as you learn about the material benefits, what happens? We know, okay, this is no more required. We get detached from that and we grow up gradually and learn much more in Vedas to get ourselves attached to God. So it is like learning from primary, from KG to higher classes. So gradually we are qualifying and we are understanding and qualifying ourselves and realizing God. That is, we are going through the path for God realization. So Vedas prescribe varieties of social and ritualistic duties for individuals. And the next sloka, he continues how to perform duty. So God says, you have right to do duty, but not entitled for fruits of actions. You cannot claim the fruits of actions and never consider yourself as cause of results of your activities. So there should not be the feeling I in what we do, because when you think that I am doing this and because of me all these benefits have come, because of my contribution this project has been done. So you don't claim that you should not attach I in all this. Do your duty without any attachment. And you should not get attached to inaction also. Because normally what do we do? If anyone says no, you don't say that you are only responsible for this. No, this result has come not only because of your contribution. This is very common among us. So what do we do? How do we react? We said, okay, I'll move away from this. I'll withdraw myself. So we go to the stage of inaction. So God says, don't do that. Don't get attached to inaction too. Don't get attached to inaction and don't stop doing karma. You have to do your duty continuously, but don't get attached to the fruits of action. Don't expect that fruits of action. And here we learn 4 points. Number 1, don't have the doership. I am doing. So don't have that thought. Number 2, and whatever karma you do, don't get attached to that, and you offer everything to God. You offer the fruits of action to God. So these 4, whatever the result, you offer it to God, and don't attach yourself to karma, and don't expect results of your actions, and don't claim ownership and doership. So if we do karma, having all these points in our teachings in our mind, there will not be any disappointment. So we will not go to the stage of depressed or whatever the negative words we use, because we don't expect anything from that, and we are doing the assigned duty. So that is, when there is no expectation, there is no disappointment. So God wants us to lead our life smoothly, and whatever we do, we should have the mind that we should think that I am doing it for God. That should be very, very, even when we take flowers to temples, it is not that I bought flowers for 100 rupees, and if that priest does not keep the flower on the idol, then we should not be upset and we should not be disappointed, because you should have a mind that the flower has gone into the Garbhagriha, and definitely God knows. God will be happy for our contribution, and when we buy flowers, we should think that how God will be looking more beautifully with this flower. So we like to see God in very happy mode. So that should be the mindset for us. So there you don't expect anything, because I am taking the flowers to God, so there should be some good news for me, or there should be some returns for me. So don't do any karma with that expectation. And in 48 sloka, he has given all these teachings, but how to develop that mindset? Is it possible? Yes, it is possible. Equanimity. Bhagavan explains on this. This is a yoga, to be in union with Supreme God. So we should treat everything equally, whether it is joy or sorrow, whether it is pleasure or pain, whether it is defeat or victory. Everything to be treated equally. If we look at this from that point of view, then there will not be any disappointment, and there will not be any, nowadays we say stress. So when you get disappointment, you get stress. So you will not end up with all that. So treat everything equally. And if results are not of our expectation, you should not get disappointed. So God says, accept anything. If the results are not favorable for you, even if they are favorable, you accept everything as a gift of God, the prasadam of God. God only decides the fruits of action, because fruits of actions depends on our karma. Though we do the same karma, but why the results vary? That is because of the karma we have been doing right from our previous lives, birth. So the karma decides the fruits of action. That's why God says, don't expect. Because if it is not favorable for you, then you get upset. So don't be like that. You do your karma as your duty and do it as if it is instructed by God. It is given, that karma is given by God. So do it as an offering to God. Then you will not end up with any disappointment. That's why God says, don't expect any fruits of action. So you have to accept everything in our life. For example, when we do boating in the sea, imagine you are in the sea, and naturally the boat will be disturbed by the waves. We can't stop the waves of ocean. If waves are stopped, then it is not ocean. So how to sail against the waves? So we have to learn that. So to adjust or to take our life with all this, the waves are like the obstacles we face, or the failures we face, or disturbances we face. So how to accept them? How to continue our life? How to proceed despite all that? You have an answer in Bhagavad Gita, you have an answer in scriptures. So let's go by Vedas, because Vedas give us knowledge about all this. So this is what God says. In 49th sloka, God says, should move higher in internal motivation to work. Those who work without attachment to results, they grow internally. Those who offer fruits of actions to God are truly in nature. They are truly in knowledge too. So don't expect any results from your karma and offer everything to God. We cannot claim the doership nor the ownership of anything. So you do it as service to God. So that's why our religious teachers, they always advise to do some community service and social service. Because when you do social service, you don't expect any result. We teach the poor children without taking any fee. What do you expect from them? Nothing. So that should be the attitude. Don't expect any results of what we do. And because when you do, for example, when you sing, if they appreciate, then you become happy. If they don't appreciate, they don't clap, then we become upset. So let us not have all this upset in our life. Because as you get any appreciation, your mind will long for it. If you don't get it, we are not able to tolerate that. So and for everything we do karma. And our karma has got both good and bad. So what we are liable to do more and more bad karma too when we do good karma. So what happens? All this take us to rebirth again. So this is what God says. Not get attached to results of your karma, that is fruits of actions. So in 50th sloka he says, working without attachment will not bring down the quality of work, because it's a normal question. People have doubt. If I don't attach myself to work, then will I perform well? Because everything is accepted. No, it is not so. God says, your mind will not be thinking of the result. So your concentration will be fully on the work. So if you are expecting results, your mind is concentrating only on the results. So will I get rewarded? Will I be appreciated? Will I get any returns from that? So you will be thinking on those lines. So naturally that will be stopping your concentration, that is reducing your concentration on the work. So if you don't expect the results or fruits of action, you can concentrate more. You can concentrate truly on the karma or your duty. So Lord Krishna tells this to Arjuna, don't expect any fruits of action from this. What's your duty? You have to fight against adharma. So do that. So attachment to results does not make us more skillful, because you will be bothering about that. So you are not making yourself better. So God says, don't get attached to all this. So this is we get a very good message from these slokas to run our everyday life, whether it is at home or in workplace. So how to come up against all odds, how to continue our duty without any expectation from anyone. It may be from family members or from workplace. So don't expect. When there is expectation, there will be disappointment. Nammalvar, one of the Alvars, he says this in his Pasuram, Indri poga irivinayum keduthu ondri yakkai pugamai uyyakolvan நின்ற வேங்கடம் நீல் நிலத்து உள்ளது சென்று தேவர்கள் கை தொழுவார்களே. Nammalvar says, Lord Vishnu, he removes all the bad deeds and good deeds. Whatever we do, the bad karma or good karma, he destroys everything and he makes us understand. He makes our Atma pure, and he makes us understand our Atma. So how do we get that knowledge? When we surrender to his feet. Because when we surrender, we give up our ego. We don't have that I. We completely go to the God's feet and ask him to save us. So God accepts our prayers and he helps us to move out of this cycle of birth and death. So this is the message given by Nammalvar in this Pasuram. Because we have taken this human form, what is the objective of this birth? It should be only God realization and getting moksha. So how to get moksha? Only by good deeds. How to do only good deeds? Lord teaches in Bhagavad Gita. Thank you.